God, that intro is awful. I really should have prompted AI a couple more times on that sound. But I am back. I had a long car trip, so thank you all for joining on this one. Sorry about the wireless microphone quality. Don't worry, it's going to get better once we get on the desktop. But December 1st, we got to do a WinUtil update. We have a lot of things kind of sitting on the back burner that have kind of been cooking up behind the scenes. I know a lot of videos have come out about Agentic AI and all the shenanigans Microsoft's pulling. I've used Windows for decades at this point, and everything can kind of be fixed and finagled into a workable state. It's just getting harder as time goes on. And that's okay. I'm kind of here for it. That's just something that I expect from Microsoft at this point. And it's not the worst thing. I know some people out there are saying just switch to Linux, and I get that. And for those that are capable of switching and have the time, I definitely recommend it. But I also realize a lot of people don't fit into that camp. They want to play their Battlefield 6 on their gaming PC. You're going to be using Windows. that is just kind of the thing that happens. Now, as far as Agentic AI and all this other stuff and all the terminology being sent around, should you worry about it? Yeah, you should. It is a real thing, and it is a real threat, especially when I looked at how they're implementing it in the new preview builds. Cody Wonders actually did a good write-up as well in my last video. If you haven't checked that out over on YouTube, that's how they're doing it is in its own user account. They're saying they will eventually limit it down to what it can do, but right now it's kind of just wide open. So if it's running in the background, it can just do whatever it wants. Screw you. Essentially is how Microsoft implemented it, which is insane. And then even more insane than that, I think Primeagen did a video on this, like File Explorer taking like 10-20 seconds to launch, and their solution to that was to just pre-launch it. So Windows will keep getting worse. That tells me there's nobody with any actual skill up there that can do things anymore, or maybe they're just all prompt engineers. I think we have like a little parody thing going on in the background. Some of the contributors and I are kind of going back and forth brainstorming a video idea that'd be more of a skit, where it's like day in the life of a Microsoft engineer, where they're all just sitting there prompting, which is kind of hilarious. But it's okay. It's okay. I don't want to be negative Nancy here. I always say, where there's a will, there's a way. If you can think it up, it can happen. It's just a matter of time and effort. So anything can be fixed, and I always say that, and I mean it. So we'll fix it. So that's kind of how it goes. So let's get on the desktop, and we'll start exploring some of the new pull requests and other things we can do with WinUtil and to modify Windows, fix some of the things that are bad. And it's gonna be great. I can't wait. Can't wait. Oh man, oh man. See if I even remember how to do this. All right. Did that work? I think so. Let's go. Haven't fixed anything yet. Or I didn't break anything yet, I should say. Oh, so it should be good. Should be good. Oh, new Valve consoles. That'll be fun. I think Valve's bringing Linux to the masses, and I really am here. I'm here for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, to do the binds.
Oh, no chat overlay. Well, yeah, no. I'm surprised everything still kind of works. It's been almost a month since I streamed. Actually, I think it has been about a month or so. Written in Rust. Yeah.
Well,
I continued that parody idea. Yeah, we're gonna flush that out, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Single Fluffy, thank you so much for the subs. Right here, this is the pomegranate V8 sparkling energy drink. I've been on kind of a health kick, and this isn't necessarily healthy, but it's, you know, it's not a monster or something. Lesser of evils, I guess. All right, so have you watched the Linus X Linus video? No. I mean, it's kind of crazy as far as like a lot of the AI stuff. I'm kind of curious how Linus will implement some of it. Yeah, and also on my main system, I'm still running Windows on a couple systems here at the studio, where my main production system's still Windows, and I think it's 24H2. I know 25H2 came in, but I'm not going to that. Yeah, it's 24H2. And that kind of like almost everywhere else I've gone pretty much Linux or Mac. On my portable laptop, I rock Mac for the most part, just because the power savings and a lot of just the portability of a Mac laptop. It's just hard to beat. So when I'm portable, I'm using Mac. When I'm here, typically I'm using Linux for the most part. And then I have, for some of my production and more of my proprietary stuff that doesn't necessarily work well on Linux, I use Windows. And then also we have this. I use a virtual machine as well. So a lot of, we'll go through, pass through. A lot of that, I will do that. Oh, I see what you mean on the chat overlay. I didn't even realize I got chat overlay on chat overlay. Ah. Oops. Oh, well, mistakes were made. All right, let's see if our looking glass is still up and going. Oh, where have I been? Oh, I guess I should show that. So I've been, well, obviously for the holidays, I was visiting some family. So I was kind of been gone for the past week there. And then part of my departure has been just kind of taking a break. I was just kind of a little burnt out, I guess. You know, it happens. I goes in waves or seasons. So I'm just like, you know, do what I can. And then whenever I'm not feeling like a video, I just don't make them. And then been playing some Age of Empires. And then I did a competition that I was kind of prepping for CrossFit. So I was doing that for a little bit as well. So it's been a lot of fun. No complaints here. Do you think Fedora is a good system with the latest update? I haven't mained Fedora in such a long time. It's hard for me to really say. Fedora's always been pretty good. I've always liked them as far as just like the operating system itself. The reason why I don't use Fedora is purely an ethical one, where I just don't like Red Hat. And I think Fedora gets into the Red Hat realm, and I'm like, it just feels like another Microsoft kind of thing where they just do things that just don't make any sense to me, and I'm like, I don't like it. So that's why I don't really do Fedora. I like Debian and I like Arch. They're community run. They're made by just plain users like you and I, and there's no big corporation or any company that can interfere with them at all. Now, people can take them down and DDoS their servers and other stuff that you might run into from time to time, but it's completely open and it'll remain so forever. And I never have to worry about it. So that's kind of why I choose Arch, because I like kind of the bleeding edge. But if I was like just doing production business work, Debian or a Debian-based distro like Mint would be fine. Yeah, Debian's too old and Arch is too new. I think that's where Fedora kind of comes in. It's a good middle ground. But you can also do like immutable distros, specifically like Bazite. I always recommend for gaming people out there. As long as, you know, your games work on there, you're not trying to do like highly competitive stuff. It's pretty good. So KDE going Wayland only. You know, that's fine.
Yeah, well,
It's gonna happen, and I'm actually okay for it. But I still like my Xorg. I still like my old faithful. It just doesn't mess up for me, and it's like, Wayland's fine. It just feels a little bloated to me. There's too much stuff that has to get added to Wayland for it to work the way I want it to work. And at the end of the day, Xorg just does everything I want. So I'm just not switching. You know, I think you just use whatever works best for you. And for me, that's that. Zero! Thank you for the sub. What you got here? Speaking of written in Rust, oh no. What do we got? Your Rust, your Zero toolbox, man. All right. I love it. I love it. Does RDP work in Wayland? I think they're updating it for it to work, but I could be wrong. All right, now let's look at Windows, I guess. Oh, Windows. What do we have? What's new on the updates? Should we run our updates before? Actually, those are fine. These should be just security updates. And what version are we running? We should be running like the latest version. What do we have before we get going? Yeah, 25H2. So this is the latest. Let's see if we have any updates. For updates, I really like Unigit UI. It's a good, like, just mass update tool. So anytime I have any updates or I want to update something, I usually just flop this. You just throw this in and just call it a good. Yeah, let's just go update. So if you've never used Unigit UI, it's in the WinUtil toolbox if you're on Windows. Highly recommend to do that. So we'll let these updates go in the background. As far as Windows updates, let's see what we got. It's been a little bit since I've launched this system, so we're just going to get it up to date before we do anything and test anything, because I want to make sure we're on the latest, greatest crap that Microsoft has tossed at us. Now, I'm not in the insider program because I'm just not insane, but yeah, we're up to date. Good. No, I'm not that insane, I should say. Is really down on the BitLocker TPM. Rob's a little bit crazy. Don't get me wrong. I like Rob. But he's not wrong. So the problem I have with BitLocker is all the encryption keys get uploaded to Microsoft servers. So if you lose or you get locked out of your Windows system, you can always get on, account.microsoft.com and then look at your encryption keys. The problem I have with that is, how secure really is that? Like, obviously, if someone needs to get into your system that is from Microsoft, or let's say, I don't know if you want to get into the legalities of this, but a lot of governments and other things could easily get access to that information. So your system's kind of encrypted against maybe bad actors, or bad actors that haven't hacked Microsoft, I should say. But just putting all that on Microsoft servers just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So BitLocker, I'm kind of like, maybe it'll lock out a thief if you get your laptop stolen. So I think it's fine in that respect. But for a lot of things online, I just don't like BitLocker. I'm just not a huge fan. And there's better open source solutions that would actually give proper encryption security. But again, if you screw up and lose your keys, you're screwed. There is no saving you from a Windows server. You can't go online and just look up encryption keys for your system. So it's a good and a bad thing. Dan, thanks for the tier 1. And it's good to be back, man. Good to be back. Yeah, save the key to a file, print it. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with standard encryption That's fine. As far as TPM and a lot of that stuff, just, again, I'm not a fan. Just not a fan. Yeah, what's the sense in BitLocker on a stationary PC? BitLocker on a stationary PC, I think if we put on our just to be devil's advocate here, if you just use a local account, or actually if you just use a Microsoft account, it doesn't matter, and I get set in front of your PC, using the standard like SAM hives that are in every Windows system, essentially I could hack into your system in, I don't know, 2-3 minutes by just logging in through a USB drive and then changing that hive to unlock the admin account and not put a password on it and then reboot. So probably 2 to 3 minutes to hack into your system. If you use BitLocker, you can't do that. At least I don't know a way for those offline password changers to actually function in a BitLocker environment. They might now, but I haven't. Last time I looked at them, I don't think they did. So, I mean, in that respect, I would say if maybe you share or it's in a common area and you're worried about someone getting access to, like physical access to the system, it would be very easy to break into it if you didn't encrypt the files. So BitLocker could be good in that respect. Yeah, the games for TPM2 and anti-cheat, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't think that's the way. So, do you recommend password managers? Absolutely. Password managers are great. Most people use like Bitwarden, but honestly, you use whatever you want. I don't really care. I think just having a password manager is a good idea. Don't ever reuse passwords, because if you don't use a password manager, a lot of people reuse the same password. So then when that one website gets hacked, the hackers will take that same password and then use it on other websites, and it's just a bad deal. Yeah, 1Password's okay. I think a lot of people like it. I don't personally use 1Password just because it's expensive. And I'm cheap. So there's that. You could do self-hosted if you want to do like KeePass or Bitwarden. Self-hosted instance is probably the best. You could use other stuff too. I think I still use RoboForm because I'm just lazy. But yeah, it's fine. I think two-factor and hardware security keys are also a very, very big part of security. So I highly recommend two-factor, especially hardware keys. I use hardware keys wherever I can. Oh, LastPass. Oh man, that's a name I haven't heard. Most people jumped ship from LastPass after they got hacked. I don't know how much of user information got leaked from the LastPass hack, but LastPass I can never recommend, nor should I think you should ever use it, just because that hack, but also a really greedy company took them over. Oh, what is their name? It's the LogMeIn people. God, I can't. The company name escapes me. Oh well, one less demand letter I have to worry showing up in my inbox. Anyways, yeah, LastPass is terrible. Don't use it. Just anything but LastPass. I can't remember any other password manager that's worse. No, LastPass is the worst. Don't use them. Switch to something else. Just anything but them. Are you into Linux ricing? God, man, I go through phases of that. I think every Linux user out there is always chasing the dragon, so to speak. Like there's always a perfect setup where you could go, and it's pretty good. So, what if you lost your hardware key? That's why you have multiple hardware keys. I highly recommend getting like a safe and then putting a hardware key in there, and usually using like 2 or 3, depending on what you got going on. For me, I use multiples. All right. Well, sweet. let's get into this, see how we're doing on our updates. Still updating our wonderful systems here. Whew. Let's see if our GitHub's still logged in. I might need to log back into here. GitHub, WinUtil. Hey, we're still logged in. We're up to 43,000 stars now. I think this is the biggest PowerShell project on GitHub. PowerShell rankings. GitHub. Let's see. Boom, there we are. Win11 debloat is catching some steam. Look at that. They passed up the other one. What's this? Seamander, that's a new one too. So there's some new PowerShell projects really coming in to the space, which is great to see. This one's deprecated, the Windows 10 debloater. But WinUtil, #1. That's kind of crazy. It's funny because 5 years ago, I didn't know GitHub at all. I didn't know Git at all. And I mean, those first year or two were a little touch and go. So I was like, all right, we're going to pull this, and then let's do some PRs. And then my PRs would wipe out, and I would have to do like a git reset hard. And man, some of the contributors that have been with me since the beginning, God bless your soul. Well, I figured a lot of that out. That's funny. Oh, man. Why you gotta be like that, Jerry? Why you gotta be like that? Phew. Goodbye, Jerry. Hey, Chris, a few years ago, wouldn't you recommend installing Atlas OS because of security issues? Or do you think it's gotten any better? I think the underlying problem I have with Atlas, ReviOS as well, is that they use a proprietary loader to kind of modify Windows. I really like non-proprietary crap to modify Windows. I want you to use official Microsoft tooling. It's funny because I actually made a critical video of Tiny11 back in the day because people were using ISOs you download from archive.org, which, no, you should never use an ISO. But NTDev, which is in charge of Tiny11, I believe, and NTDev's been like a staple in the community for 30 years or something. Guy's got to be ancient at this point, but he's been an amazing dev. He saw, I think, that critique I had of Tiny11. Maybe it was somebody else that also had this critique, and he made a builder using DISM and official Microsoft tooling. And the Tiny11 builder I can recommend. That is a very good alternative. So if you don't want to use MicroWin, Tiny11 Builder is a great alternative. I would recommend it over Atlas or ReviOS and some of the other ones, ameliorated. All those, or anything you need to do from an ISO or use some third-party launcher, I'm not a huge fan of, especially if it's not completely open source, which I know Atlas launcher claims to be open source, but when I actually tried to build it myself, it was missing files. And it was not open source. They held on to some parts of it, and part of it is gated. So that's why I don't recommend it. That's just a vector. Not that I found anything malicious, but there's a vector for malicious actors to use. And I just would recommend, like, Tiny11 would be a great one to use if you want to use Tiny11 Builder. You could also use NT Lite, which has been around for 20 plus years as well. It's fantastic. It does cost $40 if you do the NT Lite route, but both of those are great alternatives if you don't want to use MicroWin, which is obviously what I built with the WinUtil. So that's pretty good. But I try and caution people from just doing a bunch of stuff like that. So, like, and if you don't know GitHub, like, I hate, like Randall here, where's the download button? Pay me $10. You get it for free. It's an executable. You just click it and it launches. Or you could just paste in the PowerShell command, and it's free there if you want to do it for free. But some people don't want to open a PowerShell. And for you, there you go. Either way, it's great. Would you look at my project? Oh no. What is it? Pipes input to AI chat. AI. So, like, AI stuff, 1 star. I'm not gonna look at this. And it's written in Rust. I'm sure someone could probably look at this, but I hate AI stuff. And just speaking of that, like whenever I see AI engineers or whatever you want to call that stuff, and AI chatbots and other things like that, I am very, very much on the fence of I just ban first, and I don't like it. I think a lot of people are just kind of, don't get me wrong, I use AI. And I use it in a fashion not to build, but necessarily to minimize or maybe even to clean up certain like long spreadsheets and stuff like that. That makes sense to me. So there's times where AI makes sense, but it's more of a tool that can be good for really voluminous information that's hard to dissect quickly. But to use it to build, I think is an error. And every time I do, I try to make sure it removes more than it adds. And I think that's where it's just like, I can't get behind a lot of AI projects. Most AI projects I just look at and it doesn't make sense. It's like, why? We can do it better already. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And getting the AI PRs and WinUtil kind of makes my head hurt, but it's fine. Like I said, it just goes with the territory. It's 2025. We just get used to the AI slop. Like I said, I try and keep my stuff as clean as possible. And using AI to clean stuff, I think is fine. Using AI to build stuff, I think is where you really get in a lot of trouble. That's not good. So yeah, like using Gemini to summarize a video. Fantastic. Like this 3-hour live stream, that will probably inevitably be 3 hours because it usually is. Yapping for like 30 minutes and be like, hey, give me a summary, Gemini or Claude or Jippity. Give me a summary of this first hour of things, and then it'll just bullet point everything you're hearing right now over this 30 minutes to an hour, and he'll be like, hey, this is what all Titus said, blah, 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 and then there you go, and it'll give you timestamps. I usually use it to actually summarize a lot of live streams and long videos because I don't like watching a long live stream. So I get it. But generative AI and other stuff is a little bit rough. It's getting better, and I think for generative AI, where I see it actually succeeding is filler. Like B-roll in videos, I think it could... There's a spot where it could get good enough to use for B-roll, but I'm not worried too much about the transformative nature of like it doing original works of art. There's certain things that can imitate and parody and that type of thing. I think that's pretty good. 3 hours of Chris yapping. Well, I mean, that would be an accurate summary. What are your views on N4's Hyperland .files? You know, I thought N4 did a great job. I also like to use LFW, I think it was. And also, I've also used, what was the other one that we've used for .files for like a Hyperland Arch? I think, I made a video about it actually. JCoolit is another one. So those are the three that have been in like I think it's MLFW. I can't remember the exact acronym, but they also have really good .files. So those 3 projects are great for Hyperland if you want to go down that route. It's good. All right, so how we doing over here? Let's look at what we got. How many AI pull requests do you think we're gonna get today? We got 12 pull requests to go through. We shall see how many are AI driven. Let's see if we can spot them. It's getting better. Where are we at? Still updating. We're almost there. Ah, yeah, ML4W. That's it. My Linux for work. That's the one. This is also very good. I think all 4 of those are really good. A lot of people talk about Oh, DHH's spin, Omarchy. And I spun it for a little bit when he first did it. It was more of a script back then than a full-blown distro. And it just got so opinionated. And by opinionated, I mean he just chose so many things that I just didn't agree with that I couldn't really use it anymore. So I loved what he did. He showed me you can make a well-documented tiling window manager and release it to the public, and people will use it. And I think I love him for that. But I don't use Omarchy because it's just too opinionated for me. There's a lot of choices and spices and other things that he used in there that I just didn't like or I don't use personally. So it just... I found myself installing it, and then I'm like ripping out half of it, where I'm just like, well, this doesn't make sense. It's like I'm on Windows, and I don't like my Windows. I don't like my Linux to feel like Windows, man. You know, as much as I like modifying stuff as the next person. Linux, the beauty is you build it from scratch, from the ground up, and you pick everything that you want. Once you know enough, that's what you do. And then when you do these really opinionated or like big distros that are just culminations of a bunch of crap, they all feel bad to you because they're going to be decisions that are made that you don't necessarily agree with. But, this is the big but. If you don't know jack about Linux, they feel kind of nice. You're like, oh damn, I didn't even know you could do this on Linux. So it kind of opens the door for a lot of more free thought and stuff like that. And I think that's a good thing. What do you think of Mermoney's Memories? Unattended thing. He is a dev on Unigit UI. Do you got a link there, Cube? I've used for unattended installs, I've always used Schneegans. Schneegans unattended. Oh man, I totally butchered that. Schneegans, man, that was way off. Yeah, so I've always used this, guys. Schneegans, it's been around forever. Forever. So this is what I'd recommend for Schneegans. That's how I usually generate a lot of my unattended stuff. He has a tool called WinHands. I haven't used it, so I don't really have anything. Any plans for LinUtil? Oh, gosh, it's been a while since I've touched LinUtil. I think I've, like, riced out a couple of my games with it, but that's about it. NVIDIA Optimus is a nightmare. It is. You're absolutely correct. Poor NVIDIA users coming to Linux. I mean, it's gotten better. It still sucks, but it's gotten a lot better. Sometimes it works really well with very little optimization, but sometimes it just really sucks. So, I mean, NVIDIA is a very hit and miss depending on your system setup. I love Bazite. I love Bazite, by the way. Bazite's great. All right. So, anyways, there's Schneegans. We got that. We've been updated. We updated this stuff. No diagnostic. Shortcut conflicts. Huh. Yeah, I guess we'll just Windows Shift V, open advanced paste menu. Well, that's interesting. Okay. All right, let's get going. Come on, I've been yapping for almost 40 minutes. Good night. First up, let's see. This PR resolves implementing all users featured registry key tweaks in WinUtil. Added new checkblocks. Apply to all users under tweaks. Okay. Oh no. I got a bad feeling about this one. Oh, what's the... Oh, Zeuscraft. He's done a couple PRs. Okay, I like it so far. It looks like not a lot of line changes. So he's not doing a nuke the world commit. I like it. Manual tests, create new branch. Branch push to remote repository. Run util. Okay. Safe implementation. Check state. Well, I like this so far. Well documented. Looks pretty good. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Coding Wonders sniffed out the AI on this one. So here's something that AI does that I just really hate. Maybe bad coders do this too sometimes. There's so many nested if statements, and there's a try catch in here. There's a bunch of try catches. Like, typically, if you're writing code, you would never do that many try catches. It's just a little bit redundant, and also it makes the code really hard to read. Let's just laugh at that. I feel you, Coding Wonders. I feel you. It's a good idea. We just need a couple. One, I think we're gonna, let's see where it resolves. There's gonna be some file conflicts here. A little excessive on the try catch. It was pretty funny. That was a good catch. And we get our sync. Yeah, so it should, when you invoke the WinUtil tweaks, I believe this should use runtime. Run spaces, I'm sorry. And you don't need all this garbage. But he's putting this extra one in for an apply all users tweak. Yeah. It could be done a little cleaner. Maybe not. Not necessarily a problem. Yeah, I think really the only thing here that I would clean up is this nested this nested loop. Nesting all these if-else statements with try catches, like multiple try catches, is just ugly as sin. This needs to be much more succinct and clean. This, instead of being like 112 lines, this probably should be, well, actually this is more like 40 lines. I would say it should probably be 20 lines, maybe 15 lines. It's just one try catch should do it. I don't think you need to do all these nested try catches. But yeah, just make it a little cleaner. Let's just request changes. Clean up the if, else, try, catch, nesting. It's messy, and it doesn't need to be that long. So, I mean, but overall, I really like the change. And also, he needs to pull down and resolve any conflicts with that branch. So, next up, let's go OneDrive removal update, read description. Now, I think, Gabby, I talked about this in a prior live stream. The problem I had with this was I was removing and copying so many files from OneDrive, because initially OneDrive used to literally delete the files and it would update OneDrive before it would actually stop the service. So it would actually delete the files from OneDrive and delete the files from your computer. I know that sounds awful, and it is, because Microsoft is crazy. But they probably fixed that. I'm like 90% sure they fixed that, because it was such a glaring problem where it was deleting people's files that they surely fixed that. What do you guys think? What's this consensus? Does anybody have any OneDrive problems if you've manually uninstalled OneDrive before? I think we can do it. Don't call me Shirley. Oh, man. Nav, how are you not a VIP, by the way? I deleted my OneDrive. Yeah. People use OneDrive. Yeah, you pretty much have to use OneDrive with Microsoft Office. The autosave feature forces OneDrive now. Autosave, I don't think works properly anymore without OneDrive. So most Microsoft Office business users use OneDrive quite a bit, actually. Any update on OneShot? Oh, fat bastard. We need to look at that, brother. That'll be next stream. Yeah, I think what we'll do. All right. I'm fine with it. I think OneDrive now fixes it, because before I had to like manually remove and reassign like documents, downloads, and everything to be in the official root user folder, where if you're unfamiliar with OneDrive on its setup, it uses it reassigns all those default file locations to your user dash OneDrive dash downloads, documents, desktop. All that gets assigned to it, and then it gets uploaded to Microsoft's cloud. That's the default of all of it. So, Fluffy, thank you for the gifted.
Yeah, well.
And Fat Bastard. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. Yeah, I'm using Chrome. Dirty Chrome user. I hate Chrome. Almost as much as I hate everyone. I probably should go back to Brave, but I'm too lazy at this point. And I'm just like, you know what? It works. I'm fine. I'm going to approve this. I was a little skeptical and I kind of still am, but at the same time, I think it's fine. One thing I wanted to look, so under the invoke script, this is fine. Under the undo, on the undo script, I think there's some other stuff. Let's see. No, that's fine. Yeah, that we're gonna accept it. Let's pull that in. Squash and merge, shall we? And then let's clean up and make sure we're working on a clean branch too before we get too past one PR. We'll test each one just to make sure we're clean. Oh man, I used Vivaldi back in the day. I remember them. The developer of Vivaldi is actually from Opera. Let's recompile, make sure everything looks good. No red. No whammies. Yeah, Opera's gross. Nobody should use Opera.
To do the binds.
Mighty King, thank you for the prime. Yeah, Vivaldi was pretty good. I think I switched off of it on Linux because they had a bad update where it was taking a long time. I'm going to say something, too, that might... Oh, God, I hope Drift isn't here. I kind of miss my checkboxes. I was using this the other day, and I was just like, I kind of miss the old checkboxes.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
I don't think this was working too. Donk, thanks for the prime. Yeah, we need to fix this. I think we actually had a PR to fix the toggles because the toggles wasn't working after this last update. That was probably my bad. Let's go ahead and bump our GitHub actions. Should be fine. What files was it updating? Yeah, that's fine. Actions moving up to V6. Dependabot. Gotta be careful with Dependabot. Sometimes it messes things up. Alright, delete that branch. Sure. What else we got? I think it was actually in the Discord where we had something. I think it was under general. Somebody mentioned it. They were like, hey, when are you streaming next? And I was like, oh, yeah. Here we go. 3748. Yeah. 3748. Customize preferences toggle stopped working. Issue started from a commit. Let me look at the commit. This is my bad for accepting the PR.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
King Kong, thanks for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it. That's awesome, man. So, if we look at this, what were we doing? So it's just a change of toggle and contains. I mean, technically, like should be okay. Contains and like are close to the same thing. Contains is a little bit more picky, where like you can use wildcards. So, not necessarily a bad change. But at the end of the day, it didn't work, did it? I think even Coding Wonders even commented on this one. He was like, I wouldn't do that. And I was like, no, Coding Wonders, it'll be fine. Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong, my man. Yep. All right. Yeah, for run spaces in PowerShell is like a black art. Like, it's just like black magic. Sometimes just nonsense like this just doesn't work. It logically should work, but it doesn't. Yeah. Like broke the toggles. Well, now we know. It was... unfortunate, but yeah. Let's go ahead and approve these. Let's look at the actual code itself. This is a good catch, though. It's the beauty of open source, man. So this is actually just removing the entire checkbox.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Just Merrick's, thanks for the super sticker. Shouldn't we actually change that to a contains instead of a like? Let's check this. Synthesize, thanks for WinUtil. Yeah, man, I love it. It is fun. All right, let's pull down any changes, synchronize, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna blow this up, guys. All right, invoke WinUtil tweaks. Now, this is what we're getting rid of in the invoke WinUtil tweaks. Here, I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Well, yeah, that should be good. Nope, too much. I can't read. Okay.
Yeah,
So
well,
let's look at
to do the binds.
this. This is going to be an invoke WinUtil tweaks. Radio, thank you for the tier 1. Let's look for that toggle. So when you invoke the WinUtil tweaks, I'm just kind of curious if the toggle is still there. Check. Where's toggle? So toggle's only found once. Wouldn't the checkbox need to be toggle? I remember at one time, God, this project has changed so much over the past 5 years. At one time, they had their own individual private functions, and then I think we made a universal invoke WinUtil tweaks, specifically over the toggle. Well, only one way to do it. Let's accept the PR. Regardless, we can always come back and fix it if the tweaks do not work, but right now they're not working at all, so that's fine. I just figured this would get changed into an actual go back to contains, but let's see. Might be somewhere else too that actually happens. All right, let's sync that. So that's gone now. Now let's do a compile again. And what we should see in the background is that registry change when we click the toggle. Before we were not getting anything. Yeah, JP, as soon as we can, man. I'm looking forward to the day we don't have to I don't have to mess with Windows anymore. Will that day ever come? I don't know. Well, I'd say that works. All right, great. Numlock on startup. Verbose messages. Perfect. Yeah. That's beautiful. I like it. That looks like a good one. Good PR. Next up, so toggles are back to going. Add ScreenBox and FastStone image editor to application. Never heard of either one. I don't really want to bloat things up with FastStone and ScreenBox. Anybody ever heard of that? ScreenBox or FastStone? Asking for chat. You guys, have you ever heard of it? If you have not, FastStone is old as hell. So that's a big negative for me. Nope. ScreenBox. I used it 10 years ago. All right, there's better stuff. We don't need to be adding everything and anything. That was enough for me. Fluffy gave the thumbs down. We're like the emperor in the arena here. It's a big nope for me. Too obscure to add. Closed. All right. Remove deprecated crypto wallet enabled policy and edge debloat functionality. Okay. It's obsolete as explained here. I'll take your word for it. I don't need to check it. Appreciate the link though. Bye-bye. Just removing the crypto wallet enable. That's funny. Edge has crypto wallets. Reminds me of Brave. Such a Brave thing. That was like the one thing I hated about Brave was just like all the crypto nonsense like shoved down your throat. Oh, well. Alright, that's good. Pretty easy. Fix, add Zed to applications. Are we ready to add Zed? Has Zed actually gotten good? I remember back in the day, man, Zed was, oh man, I just remember. Oof. Does anybody use Zed? We're gonna ask chat again. Any Zed users in the house? Don Quixote. I have not checked out Basically Homeless. Amazing channel name, though. Oh, nice. The parody thing. Don't make us get water goads. Oh, it's going to be great. Zed is an IDE. It's like VS Code, but Zed. Yeah. Hey, we have somebody over on YouTube that uses Zed. It's way faster than VS Code. I think it comes the time to use Zed. We shall add it. It gets the praise. One lone YouTube commenter is the reason why we're going to add Zed. I've installed it on my system. It's not a bad editor. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles of VS Code, so it's kind of like, I don't mind adding it. Let's go. Oh, yeah, Codium. You know, I was using Codium, but then the marketplace kept breaking, and I was just like, screw it. I'm just going to use Microsoft's VS Code. Cleanup. Oh, I like cleanups. Removing 285 lines. All right. You know. Oh, see, this is... Meritech, actually, back in the day, did this exact same thing. And I never accepted the PR. But the reason for some of these extra ones was Windows 10 and backwards compatibility. Like there's home group and crap like that in there that's no longer even in existence in modern Windows. But I still like having them there just for people using WinUtil. I think we need to do a poll and see how many people are still using Windows 10. Because if nobody's using Windows 10, having all these extra services and such doesn't do a whole lot. All right, let's do a straw poll. Dude, it's been so long since I've done a poll, I haven't even logged in. Oh, God. Are we still... Do we have that many people? Let's see. Are you using Windows 10 or 11? Linux users. So I'll add an extra option for you Linux users. I don't want to show you the option. I want it to be a surprise. All right. Let me copy it. All right, here we go. All right, there's the poll. You guys go ahead and poll and vote away. We shall see the results in real time. Windows 10, Windows 11, which one are you? Windows 10 is end of life as of, what, 2 months ago? 1 month ago? Good to see that Windows users still care nothing about security. You stay classy. God, I should have added another one, but I'm just afraid of the results. When I put like Windows 7 in there, people still use that crap. I'm just like, bro, you just do not care. Ugh. I use all three. Well, that's fair. Hey, we get a good bit of Linux people in here. Windows 10, but with ESU. Okay, that's fair. That's SK. That's fair. You got your extended service updates. You can keep rocking it for 3 years. Or you could be LTSC. You know, some of these votes, I bet they're LTSC, which has support all the way to 2032. Because Windows 10 2022 LTSC IoT Enterprise has support all the way up to 2032. Damn, that is a mouthful. God. What a bunch of crackheads that work for Microsoft. Like, whoever thought that was a great naming convention? I mean, honestly, it's probably better than it used to be. It's at least descriptive enough so you understand what the hell it is. All right, I think it's just starting to whittle down here. We still got 20 or so people on Windows 10. I think I'm going to leave this up for now. I'm not going to accept it just yet, Gab. Or Gabian. I think it will come in due time, but for now we're going to leave some of the legacy stuff in. See, Meritech did it back in May, and it's still open as well. All right. Update WPF tweaks debloat. Improve for clarity and performance. Teams doesn't register itself in the standard uninstall registry pass, and part of the code has been removed. I've consolidated the main logic to make it more compact and efficient, easier to view as code. Yeah, so I already reviewed this PR once. So there are multiple versions of Teams. Frickin' Teams, man. Frickin' hate Teams. Oh my god. Talk about a complete shit show from Microsoft. Looks like he did grab the executable, so in case it is installed outside of the Microsoft Store. That was my main gripe. As far as removing the package, though, the registry key is probably a little excessive now. Recursive delete of the directory is fine. But usually you do a git and remove appx. I wonder why that wasn't included here. He put it up here in this debloat portion. But the problem with this is I do believe, let's go up a little bit, explore up. I do believe this is just part of the remove all apps. So it's fine to add teams there, but we still need the appx uninstall here. So it needs to check to remove teams from the install pack here, but we also still need the appx removal as well. Depending on which version is installed, you need to make sure you've installed both, because you could actually have teams installed, I think, only 2 times now. Back in the day, you could install it 4 times. Literally, there was Teams for Business, Teams for Personal, both Microsoft Store AppX versions and also executable versions, and I got put in both spots. It was nuts. All right, let's see. Read chat. What am I missing? Oh, I forgot Mac OS, Razzle. My bad. Check Calum's DM. Okay, let's check Calum's DM. What do we got, Calum?
Yeah, well,
Chris to-do list. Yep. I agree. Checkbox. I agree. That's on my to-do list. We're getting to it. I'll also check computer. Did I miss something in contributor chat too? Oh, nice. Got a new script idea. We're gonna have fun with that. Sequel Tom, thanks for the prime. All right. So on this one, I need to double check it, because adding it to this debloat is fine, but that doesn't actually remove it or invoke it when you actually call the uninstall of Teams here. Unless this... Oh, crap. Teams was added... No. This wasn't an uninstall directly from Teams. This was just a bulk uninstall. No, this is fine. No. Gabe did good here. It's a cleanup. Alright, moving on. And it deletes more than it adds, which I always like. I always like a pull request that deletes more than it adds. Update readme. What do we got? What are we updating? I like it. Easy. Just directing people to create issues on GitHub. The normies of the world will rage. Go, I don't know how to use the GitHub. It's awful. I still remember the video of Linus. Remember when Linus used GitHub when he switched to Linux for a little bit? Oh god, it was beautiful. He was like, okay, so for the it was so great. He was pulling in like a file from some like repo. Oh, I'm just gonna show it because it's just hilarious. So like, let's say he was like, I need to get all this stuff. So instead of just doing like a copy paste, he went view source. He was like inspect. I don't even think I have a view source on here. What happened? Somehow, I think he saved it first. It was hilarious. Yeah, I think he did like a file save as, and then like read the HTML file and then picked out the code here. And I was like, oh my god, just click raw. Boom. And you can just get it plain Jane or raw, or you can just click copy raw file, and then it just adds it directly into your so like if you have like a blank file, you can just paste that and then it'll just grab everything from that. So hilarious. Anyways, I'm sorry. I just remember that. It's such a great memory of mine. I'm like, oh man, that's a good one. That was such a classic. I have a friend who hates GitHub because it's not official for his games. I mean, it's from Microsoft at this point. It got bought out. Windows for games with Clack. Bazite or Catchy OS if you want to use Linux. Yeah. I've never heard of the acronym Clack, but I think I'm going to start using that. Hey, At the end of the day, it did work. He got there. GitHub is, it's like its own language, but once you learn the language, you're like, how do you live without this? That's GitHub. If you know, you know, but if you don't, I see why it's aggravating to people. You know, let's pull down these changes. All right. Add accessibility labels to Tweaks UI. Enhance screen reader accessibility options. What's this? Pulling system Windows automation properties, set checkbox entry content. Huh. I've never seen that option. It's an accessibility option that gets added to the XAML. It's clean. He's not doing anything else except adding that functionality. Well, shit, let's try it out. Let's go. I'm here for it. Sounds like he's done some XAML work before. Alrighty, that's good. And that's it. That is all of the tweaks, all the PRs. We've done over 1,328 pull requests. We're over, issues-wise, just issues and PRs in general, we're at like almost 4,000 now. Good night. Over 1,000 commits. That is insane. All right, let's pull these changes, shall we? Do a compile run, see what we got. Uh, 3733. Let's take a look, Gab. Was it repeated? I said it was an accessibility option. Maybe, maybe not. Let's crank up the accessibility options pane. Enhance. I mean, that looks pretty good, actually. I did reorganize this last update a little bit. I mean, for it being so blown up, that's pretty nice, actually. So if someone's like on a 4K monitor, this actually would be nice. Huh. Yeah, I like it. Blind you guys. I know how much you like that. Overhang on top right in Tweaks tab. Top right. We got overhang. Let's see. Let's go up one. Let's go 150. Seems pretty good. All the GitHub sponsors. I love that auto populates. I need to make sure it's still auto populating. That's pretty good though. That's pretty good. What changed? tweaks JSON. My eyes, the light. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have gone full screen and then changed it on you guys. Truly diabolical. All right, let's take a look. What changed here? Oh, it was just a spacing issue. It was just cleaning up spacing. All right, we'll sync that up. And that's pretty good. Yeah, I can't live without GitHub either. I actually got a comment the other day on a video. He was like, I've been developing software for 25 years. Obviously, I watched your stream. You know, take it from me, a 25-year-old veteran. What you're doing is fine, but what we do in the business is we comment out the code instead of deleting it in case you ever need to come back to it. And I was like, bro, do you not use Git? Like, Git copies all that crap. You don't need to leave it as a comment. Like, if you need to get rid of the code, you get rid of the code. And then if you ever like, oh crap, I deleted something I need, you just go back and commit and look at it. And I was like, you've been developing software for 25 years and I know more than you. It was like, for real? God, I hope you hadn't been developing software for 25 years because that's just embarrassing. I had secondhand embarrassment for the guy. I did not say that in the comment. I like to be nice to the people that comment on my videos. So I just said, that's what GitHub is for. That is what Git is for. Just like everyone. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think back to like projects like PalWorld. PalWorld never used any kind of revision. They like passed around a thumb drive or some crap or used like a network share. And I was like, my God, not using Git is insane. It could have been rage bait too. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, man, that's just insane. But like, if anybody actually wants to learn to program, even if you're a prompt engineer, let's say you're an AI engineer, learn Git. My God, it will save you so much headache. Like, Git is an absolute mandatory skill. Even if the AI overlords take over and all your hopes and dreams come true, if you don't know Git, you are worthless. Git is absolutely mandatory in every single facet of every aspect of programming, whether you're using AI, whether you're not using AI. If you don't know Git, you are absolutely dog water. End of story. You shouldn't be doing anything with programming if you don't know Git. So, like, if you don't learn a programming language, learn Git. That's just like my rant of the day. Git will save your bacon, and it is just amazing. Like, I feel like I know a lot about Git, but there's still more to learn. It is such a deep rabbit hole, and there's so many cool tools. Like, you can cherry pick, you can hard reset, you can go back to certain commits. You can rewind the clock back in time. Here's a cool thing for people that don't like GitHub. Let's say you're like, you know what, Titus, you've changed. Your Windows utility sucks now. It used to be good. You have accepted too much AI. It has corrupted the sanctity of Windows utility. Well, if you knew Git, doesn't matter. Because you can actually go in here, go down to like, let's just go back a couple. Let's just go back a couple pages. Let's go back a couple years on GitHub. When did I start doing this? Oh, yeah. Let's go back to the summer of 2024. And let's launch this version of Windows Utility. We just copy the link, go into here, do an IRM, GitHub, that PS1, and then pipe it to an IEX. You ready to jump in your time machine? I am. It'd be hilarious if it crashed. Oh, look at this. We're back in time. We're back on the old WinUtil, back before all the changes. And there you go. This was WinUtil a year and a half ago. You can go back in time. Do it at any version you've ever run of get WinUtil. You can do it.
Yeah,
it's
well,
amazing.
The dude abides.
Use it. Learn it. It's amazing. I love it. Thank you for the prime there, Irivel. Who designed this UI? This was Conti, and it was an improvement, believe it or not. I kind of miss the checkboxes. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like this version a little bit better, but it does make more sense the way we have it now because Drift User kind of streamlined it a little bit. And maybe it's just nostalgia. But this was the original. Not the original, actually. So before Conti did that, because he showed theming with it, I was using... Oh, God. We need to go back in time. Let's jump back in the time machine a little bit, too. I think on our playlist, actually. What do we have? Let's go videos. I think... Do we have something earlier? Oh, here we go. It is finally happened. Well, there's a young man. That's me. Before all the gray. Oh my God. What is going on with the resolution? GitHub or YouTube. Okay. This was the original WinUtil design. Absolutely. You can tell I'm not a front-end engineer. This was really before I really understood GitHub. This was in 2020. This was the first iteration of it. Yeah, this is not WPF. This is actually WinForms. So WinForms uses absolute values, no scaling, nothing. And I was like, oh, this sucks. Everything ran in serials, so there was no run spaces at this time. So if you click something, you just had to wait till it finished. It would just lock up the GUI. Oh man, this was the first iteration, and yeah, that's where it all started from. And then over time, people have been like, hey Titus, I really like your tweaks, but bro, you need some help with the actual GUI. And I'm like, I get it. I'm like, I get it. I understand. I agree. And I saw Conti was the original one to do a XAML. Most people didn't like how flashy some of the changes were because we went from... I think I had a different version past this as well, where it was an older in between. I don't think I have that video anymore, do I? Oh, no, I redesigned it a year ago again. That was a Drift User. Drift User is pretty much responsible for the current UI. He's done a good job. It does look really good, especially compared to how it used to be. This was actually the first video of the toolbox. This video will help you address. I'll put a link to this in the description below. And a lot of things in the background. It is also downloading O&O Shutup. A lot of people... So yeah, the original one was just straight PowerShell, no GUI. And then I went from that, and people were like, Titus, I want a GUI, and I want to select what I want. And I was like, okay, we can do that. And I just was like, I'll make a GUI. It worked for the time being for WinForms. I forget, I think I was actually paying for like a $5 a month software just so I could use WinForms without having to manually adjust all like the absolute values. And then XAML came along with run spaces, and then we redid the entire project. Developer Derp helped a lot with that. It was a good trip down memory lane. Oh, so good. Full-time in Linux for almost over a year now. Man, that warms my heart. It's always good to see some people escape the hamster wheel of Windows. So great. There are some good UIs for WinForms, however. I know. I just never made one. I hacked together that in like a night. And I was like, okay. And back in those days, I was making like 3 or 4 YouTube videos a week. When will WinUtil go F sharp? Probably Win One Shot will go F sharp. That'll be the next one. Yeah, let's check that out, actually. You said 3733? Sorry, I got a weird tangent there. I'm sorry. I had felt the need. 3733? Was that an issue? 3733. WPF tweaks can't set any service to automatic delayed start. Oh, really? Oh, in PowerShell 5. Okay. This is only available in PowerShell 7. How do we want to fix that? How? Dang it. Let me think. We could omit the automatic delayed start for those in PowerShell 5. I don't necessarily like that solution. You could do SC from command line. You could just do cmd space -c and then sc config name delayed auto. God, PowerShell's so wonky. Microsoft. So many different ways to skin that cat. Yeah, let me think on that. Let's look at how we're setting that service. Make sure we're up to date. All right. PR 3760 before you go. I thought I looked at all the PRs. I always do these developer quotes of the day. They're hilarious. It's like things developers say. The user must not know how to use it. Yeah, we must not have an active internet connection. Alright, what do you got? Move docs over. Oh, crap, that's right. We were going to move the docs back. Oh, man. Yeah. And then we're going to do all of it. Pull in all the Hugo stuff. So, if we look at docs. Yeah. Perfect. And then the docs build or deploy of Hugo to pages. Yeah. I don't think you need to do ID token write for the deployment here. I could be wrong. Hugo version's a little out of date. I'd probably do 150. Checkout v4 should be v6. Configure pages looks fine. Page artifacts on upload for saving the cache, that's fine. Yeah. That looks good. I'll probably test that before doing it. I have the I think I tested all the docs using DWM Titus-docs repo for deploying Hugo through GitHub pages. But yeah, Caleb, that looks good from a preliminary look. Yeah. Just change the GitHub action to do it. I like it. Yeah, if I did the same on, I think I was using DWM. Oh God, I never did come back to this. So I built this, but I was using GitHub, and I wanted to kind of use it just as the testing. Or it, what was the YAML? I think it was. Oh, I wasn't using. Oh no, I did do the read write with ID token with pages. Yep. Nope, that looks good. And then I was just using deploy pages for. So yeah, this does work as well. But this is using MD book and not Hugo. Just a different. Hugo gives us way more control. Just thinking out loud. But you know, that's good. Yeah, bringing the docs back in to the repo, I think just people will actually do it. Did you watch LTT's new video with Linus Torvalds? Ah. Only allows Fedora to be installed. You got to remember Linus Torvalds. He created the Linux kernel, but this is also the guy that couldn't install Debian. So, don't get me wrong. He's a genius. He created Linux. More than he created Linux. This tells you how amazing Linus Torvalds is. I don't even think Linux is his greatest contribution to the world. Like, Linux is cool, don't get me wrong. I love Linux and I use it. But his greatest contribution to the world is actually just a side project. And that's Git. He's the creator of Git. More than the creator of Linux, he created Git. And it's amazing.
To do the binds.
It has done so much for so many. It's just great. James Bond, thank you for the prime. And I love him, and I love all the works that he's done. But he's absolutely wrong. He's absolutely wrong. No one should use Fedora. Forcing Fedora on the world is just absolutely a terrible idea. He can go to hell. I'm not following him to Fedora land. Screw that. Linus Torvalds is a genius. But sometimes genius do stupid things. And saying that is just a stupid thing. That's my official reaction. No, not everybody should use Fedora. God, no. It's awful. Ugh. Don't get me wrong, I love the guy. Again, a genius. But geniuses aren't right all the time. And he's wrong. Absolutely 1000% wrong. Fedora is not a one-size-fits-all. That, and we're turning over the Linux, the entire desktop version of Linux. If everyone's forced to install Fedora, we're putting it back in the hands of big tech. We're just saying, hey, everyone's going to do Fedora, which Fedora is controlled by Red Hat, and Red Hat is owned by IBM. And yeah, do I need to keep going down this path of logic? I mean, come on. Don't get me wrong, Fedora is a fine distro. But it's the devil. It's the devil in sheep's clothing. It'll get you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just stay on Windows if you're going to do it. No, I'm just kidding. You can use Fedora. But no, not a chance in hell I'll use it. I mean, Linus Torvalds, you got to remember, there's multiple different types of Linux users. Like, Torvalds is sitting there day after day looking at machine code and kernel submits for the Linux kernel. And most of that is server-based, so he's in the CLI almost all day, every day. And I would be shocked, but I doubt he even does the most modest rice to his Linux system. Mr. Greenwalls and his treadmill I just don't see him really doing much from a Linux desktop point of view other than, well, it works. That's all I need. Let's go. And Fedora does just pretty much work, but it's pretty bare bones, and I really just don't like a lot of the decisions. That's why I like Arch, but that's just me. You might be a Fedora person, but you might be a Debian person. You're like, Fedora's a little bit too new. Getting all those kernel updates so quickly, not my cup of tea. I need something more reliable. Then probably Debian would be better for you. So, man, that's just an insane thing to say. I still love Linus Torvalds, though. He's great. He's just wrong there. Wrong. And that's okay. That's okay. Too many distros. I mean, honestly, to me, there's only 3 distros. There is Debian, there's Fedora, and then there's Arch. What do you need? Do you need stability and reliability, and you don't mind everything being pretty old? Well, go with a Debian, which honestly, Debian, Zorin, Mint, Ubuntu, guess what? That's all Debian. You've been lied to. You're like, oh, there's so many options in Linux. Nah, they're all just forks of Debian. Hell, most of the stuff you see online, just fork of Debian. Some of them's highly customized fork, but it's still a fork of Debian. So Debian controls a huge chunk of the distro share. And then you got Arch. Arch is like your bleeding edge. Like, shoot, things were patched yesterday. It's already up on Arch. You want to be tested in the latest and greatest, it's great. But you also get more bugs because it's the bleeding edge. They don't call it the bleeding edge for nothing, and that's Arch. Now, that Arch is encompassing of many things. SteamOS, guess what? That's a fork of Arch. Yeah, you didn't know your Steam Deck runs Arch. You got, shoot, what's another big one? Endeavor. You got, geez, I don't even know all the forks of it. You Manjaro. You got, man, it's been so long since I've done anything but pure Arch. I'm sitting here struggling. Yeah, CachyOS. That's an amazing fork of Arch. It's a very, very highly customized version, very noob friendly. So there's that. And then you got Fedora, which Fedora, well, you got Nabara, which is an amazing run by Glorious Egg Roll. It's a great gaming distro for people that like to really tinker with that. You got Bazite, which I've promoted heavily. I love Bazite. It's great out-of-box experience for people that don't really want to mess with things. It's Fedora-based as well. So, I mean, really, it's those 3. It's Debian, Fedora, Arch. Do you want the latest and greatest bleeding edge? Do you want an Arch-based distro? Do you want something kind of in between? I was about to flip you off, I'm sorry. If you want something kind of in between where it's a lot newer than Debian, but not as old or not as new as Arch, Fedora is kind of like a middle ground. I get it. And then if you want something like really, really stable, it's not going to change, the packages aren't going to change, and you're good with just that, then a Debian or a Debian-based distro like Mint. That's fine too. But those are the 3 distros. Think of it as not necessarily there's 1,000 distros, but there's really only 3 distro types. And some of them are a blend between a rolling distro like Arch, and you got Fedora, which is considered kind of like a semi-rolling release, but not as up-to-date as Arch. And then you got something more stable, a stable release system, which is more of Debian-based, which is Ubuntu and all the like of them. So really, people overcomplicate it and say, well, this is the best distro. I'm like, well, which one of the 3 is it? It's one of those 3. Now, having said that, there are other ones. We're not going to get into that right now. There are other forks, but those 3 are like 98% of all Linux desktops, I would say. Like, it's a huge amount. Yeah, you can use SC and PowerShell if you add the exe to sc.exe. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things on that Gab. I'll probably look at it a little bit more offline, see what we got. Might end up throwing something in there. Man. So great, though. Some words on Linux font rendering. Ugh. I mean, font rendering's not so bad, actually. God. That's, I think, font rendering. It can be tricky, but with the right packages and setup, it's not as bad. I really just get used to FC list, FC cache, and a few of the CLI commands. You won't have very many issues with font rendering. You could also just do a massive nerd font install, and it would catch most of the font rendering problems you have. Hey, what's up, Rux?
Yeah, well, the dude binds.
Hey, Tux, man. Thanks for the tier 1. Appreciate you, man. Well, all right. So we got through most of the PRs today. I think we got to address... What do we have? I think it was... Calum. I think it was... No. What did you send me? Wasn't it, I think it was a checklist somewhere. Was it under bot commands? Nope. I'm Discord illiterate, by the way. I check it every once in a while, but I do not use it very often. Anywho. Chris to-do list. There it is. Yeah. That's what we'll work on. Offline, might work on the parody videos. Calum, Coding Wonders, a few others have sent me some Microsoft AI parodies. We might whip up a video for that. Win One Shot, I still need to approach this. I'm going to change Win One Shot completely. So if you're not familiar with that...
I know you know a lot of super people, so...
Peter, thanks for becoming a fan. Right. Win One Shot right now is written all in C#. I kind of like F#, believe it or not. I think it was kind of great. I love me some F#. So I think I'm actually going to redo this with a GUI in F#, and I kind of want to just completely revamp it. I did do like a 0.2 like alpha release with WPF and async, but in typical developer fashion, I just want to throw it all in the garbage bin and restart from scratch. So I'm probably going to dump this entire release, or maybe make a fork and make an F# branch and just kind of tinker with the GUI, because I really liked what I did with MacUtil, actually. Now, MacUtil is another thing people have asked about. Man, Mac has lost the plot. They're just as bad as Microsoft in some ways. They forced so many weird system tweaking decisions that I can't really tweak anymore. It's like I can show you where to click in Mac settings to change the tweaks, but to like change like 20 tweaks, I have to sit there and like hold your hand and say, click here to do the tweak. Using like the Mac OS defaults CLI command that has worked forever no longer works in the last couple revisions of Mac OS. So like Mac hates their users, I think, and making a utility to like remove some of the annoyances I have with Mac, I don't know. It just sucks. So MacUtil's kind of on hiatus until I figure out something new. I even tried to rewrite it in Swift. Like I took the F#, said screw it, let's rewrite it all in Swift. Maybe Swift has more, because that's like Apple's language. I was like, oh, we'll write it in Swift, and then maybe it'll have some way to get something better. But no. Do you think having a unified package manager in every distro is a pipe dream? Absolutely harsh. It's an absolute pipe dream. I wish it was different, but nope. Swift sucks. Odin's better. Okay, well, I believe you, Phoenix. I didn't really like Swift, but I just used it because I was like, I want to change some of the system settings in Mac, and I thought Swift surely will have the libraries to do such a thing. They kind of do. It opens up some of the settings, and yes, I can direct you to change those, but it's so cumbersome and gross that I just can't bring myself to put my name on it. So that's where MacUtil has kind of been like, ugh. Ooh, speaking of which, I need to cancel my developer license. I don't want to get charged another $100. Anywho. Yeah, I'll take Mac over Windows. I'm with you, bud. I'm with you there. I still use my Windows, or no, my Mac laptop. It's great. Airplane reference. I always love it. Don't call me Shirley. Hey, Chris, do you hate Microsoft? Oh, I always get in trouble because I'm too honest. I think I love Microsoft. I think I have made well over $1 million in the past 20 years off of the incompetence and cumbersome systems that Microsoft has set up. How can you hate something that's made your career? So whenever I see Microsoft implementing some AI or some stupid autosave or making some new thing that's everyone gonna hate, and everyone does hate, and it just makes Windows worse. Well, this is what Microsoft has always done. They've never been a good operating system. It's just been like what people know. The only thing Microsoft's ever been successful at is marketing. And that's been true forever. It's not like this is all new. As much as your YouTubers of the day will hype it up, and I'm guilty of this as well. We'll hype it up and go, it's the worst thing ever. Microsoft's the devil. They're coming for your firstborn. They're the worst company in the world. They never listen to their users. I'm like, yeah, well, that's true. But, you know, well, maybe not coming for your firstborn's not true, but maybe, you know, AI, Agentic AI, maybe they're spying on your firstborn. Anyways, it's just more of the same. You know, water's wet, the sky is blue, Microsoft's just gonna screw you over, and that's just how it always has been. And I've made a career out of unscrewing people from Microsoft. So, do I hate Microsoft? Absolutely not. They've always been incompetent. They've always been terrible. I mean, I feel like they've gotten more incompetent as time has gone on, but it's always been fixable. And I've slowly become like, you know, I would say over the years, one of the most premier people to modify Windows to not suck as bad. And that has netted me a good, substantial financial return. So, no, I don't hate Microsoft. Microsoft will just be Microsoft. I just chuckle at the people that are like, I'm using Windows, and I am secure, and I got an AI assistant. I'm like, that's cute. Well, whenever everything goes to shit on you and your computer becomes absolutely unusable, I'm here for you. Just remember my name. You know, it's always been bad. They just never failed to disappoint. Agreed. And that's fine. Just curious, can't Microsoft sue you for tampering with their OS? Nope. I use all official Microsoft tooling. The thing that I do, I have done for decades in business. I am using Microsoft's tools to fix Microsoft Windows. I don't use anything third party. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hey, Ron, thanks for the super chat. So, yeah. That's the cool thing. Surely they could take down my videos and other stuff and make my life a little more difficult, but everything I show is things that I've done in business that Microsoft has shown me how to do. Now, I might be using the things they show me how to do a little bit different, but maybe not. It's still the same, though. It's not like I do anything special. Most sysadmins that have been doing administrative work in Windows are capable of all the things I do. Is Tiny11 safe for gamers? I mean, define safe. You're gonna get better performance. Tiny11 Builder, I think, is okay, but you know, don't be browsing the web a whole bunch and downloading your favorite key generator using Tiny11. That's gonna be a bad ending. So yeah, that's how it goes. Is it worth going sysadmin? I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I have survivorship bias. I've done very, very well as a sysadmin over 20-something years. So, you know, I can't knock it. But at the same time, coming up, I know that there's less demand for it than when I came up. Yeah, I did it actually in the KMS 38. You're talking about mass graves activation stuff. They blocked the KMS 38. Now they have to use HWID, and I think it's like there's another bypass as well. But mass graves already worked around all that. Is WinUtil useful on LTSC versions as well? Yeah, you can use it on LTSC. I haven't done it in a while, though. I haven't been using LTSC because most people use, you know, retail. So I've been kind of doing that. What do you think about getting into networking? Yeah, networking and security is going to be a bigger thing. I would say most people getting into that realm are going to have jobs. But I would say the big thing with networking and security, I think they kind of go hand in hand. You're gonna have to watch out for the vibe coders out there. You know, the vibe coders are pretty bad. Check out my PR for services. Okay. What you got? What you got here? Coding Wonders already whipped it up for the PowerShell 5 that Gabe actually did. If PowerShell version less than 7, go ahead and change automatic delayed start. He has a whole bunch of comments in here. SC config delayed auto. Else set service. That looks good. I don't know if we needed all of this. I think he just did it to say, hey. That's good, but yeah. Let's edit. I'm gonna just clean that up. I appreciate the comments, but not needed. We'll clean that up, refresh. There we go. That looks good. We'll add that. We'll let the compile and check, and then we'll commit. Then the delayed auto will work better on PowerShell 5. PowerShell 5 is your default for Windows 11, and I don't know why it's the default on 11. I really still don't. Why the hell hadn't they gone to 7? But anyways, Windows PowerShell versus Windows PowerShell Core. And Windows PowerShell is PowerShell 5. PowerShell Core is PowerShell 7, which is also OS agnostic. You can actually use PowerShell 7 in Linux and other OSs if you're insane, which I've done. Alrighty, that looks great. Thank you so much, Coding Wonders. We'll pull that in. Let's pull in. Let's do a compile, see if there's any changes or if we're clean. It shouldn't need a for each loop because the set Windows service is called for each one regardless. We'll go ahead and set the services just to see that go in the background too. Yeah, Caleb actually just revamped all the documentation. We're going to pull all the docs back into WinUtil because the secondary repo is just really not getting updated. It's been forever. So pulling it back in, more people will see it and probably update the documentation as need be, and then I'll update all the links and stuff. Probably do that later. All right, so we're going to go set services to manual. And let's just throw that over here. And we're going to just run those tweaks. Seemed like it did it pretty darn fast. Let's just double check. I think I've already done these tweaks though. Windows Update Service is probably an easy one to check. Manual, yep. WSC service. Search indexer. No. Windows. I wanted to check the automatic delayed start. That's W32 time. We SBC. Okay. Let's see that one. What is WSC SVC? I can't remember the service name. Windows Security Center. Ah, that's right. Oh, I don't see it in here actually. Oh, that's a Windows 10 service. I don't even think that's in here. Windows Connection Manager. Just looking for an automatic delayed service, but I don't think we really got anything here. Well, no. Yeah, well. I think it's good. Let's go ahead and make us a pre-release so everybody can try that out. Yep, we're good. Let's do a pre-release. And then you can do WinDev to check it out. No, I don't. Let's go here. How long do you think it'll be before Microsoft screws up GitHub? Oh, sort by startup type. Yeah, that would have been a little easier. It was there. Security Center under Windows 7. Test it from PowerShell 5. Oh, yeah. Let's do that. That would be good. Here, let's test it from PowerShell 5. All right, PowerShell. Let's go. I think. Yeah, we're in PowerShell 5. Okay, great. Let's do a compile. Run. Oh, I hate PowerShell 5. God, it's old. Well, that looks good. I didn't see any errors. Are we writing anything on that too? I don't know why Windows 7, PowerShell 7 isn't default. It's just insane. The name that we're using that is passing, I don't know if we use name. That should be probably service, should it not? Because when you set WinUtil service, you're passing the service variable with get. Oh, get service isn't going to work. No. Yeah, get service isn't going to work in PowerShell 5, huh? Well, no. Get service should still work in PowerShell 5. Yeah. Yeah, the problem with 5, too, is backups can be a little tricky. It has a really crappy backup handling when it comes to shadow volume services. It does work? Okay. All right, we'll leave it. It seemed fine on my end. I didn't see any errors when we ran it through PowerShell 5. Get back to PowerShell 7. All right, great. That looks good. All right, so we got our pre-release for WinUtil for releases. We got the pre-release, boom, for December 1st. Let's give it a whirl. Actually, we can just launch it through WinDev. We'll test it out. About the animation box in WinUtil, it is not working. Oh, okay. I'll have to take a look. I think that was Drift User that did the animation box. I'll have to take a peek. See what we can fix up. I need to revamp most of this stuff. I've just been lazy. All right, let's go about. Make sure we're on. There we go. December 1st. Looking good. Dark theme? Light theme. Dark theme. Perfect. Nice. Search button, task view, and center taskbar buttons. These never register properly. Maybe I gotta look at the logic on how those toggles are set, because when we get the toggles or tweaks that are already done, We used to have a, yeah, get installed. Does that even work? I don't think so. Negative. Because it doesn't even check the toggles here. Yeah. I need to do some work on that. Let's make an issue. Just so I don't forget. Get installed isn't polling all variable all tweaks. Check toggles. All right. Let's go tweaks. Get installed isn't pulling all the toggle values to show them correctly. Let's take a snapshot here. Oh god, the Xbox FSE on the contributor chat. Oh yeah. Coding. I've been wanting to look at that forever because that's like the one bright spot of Windows I'm actually looking forward to. That would be great. Let's see, can I minimize? Yeah, that's about as low as I can go. Okay. Oh no, I don't want to use Affinity. Damn it. Nope. How's the Canva takeover Affinity work? By the way, for you Affinity users out there. I know they added some Gen AI stuff to it. I have not really messed with that. Oh man. Screenshots. Great. There we go. Okay. Actually, these, let's just make a incorrect. There we go. Launch WinUtil. Tweaks tab. Get installed button. Toggles show incorrectly. Alright, good enough. Alright, cool. Just so I don't forget. Sometimes, you know me. Sometimes I forget. What happened to laptop presets? We were using hibernation and something called power throttling back in the Windows 10 era. And they pretty much got rid of these. And laptop presets have kind of been obsoleted, so we just deleted them. Didn't use that. So I was like, oh, okay. Yep. Can you tell me what clicking run ONO shutup 10 does? ONO shutup is a tool that like most people have used for a long time. It's been around for 10 plus years. It's just another tweak tool that a lot of people have done, and I make sure that it works properly. What I do is I feed it its own, I think it's like its own JSON file, and that does all the tweaks that I'd recommend you do with ONO shutup. If you want to do it, most of those tweaks are already done by WinUtil, so it's kind of overkill at this point. So I could probably remove it from the toolbox, but it's just been in the toolbox forever that it's just kind of like, doesn't hurt for those that really like it. And it prevents you from having to go out and download it and all that. It just can grab it and run it for you. So, it's pretty good. Oh man, Hirons. Is that still around? I thought it hadn't been updated in forever. Could be wrong though. No. Oh no, it's its own thing. They have their own thing. Yeah, let me check contributor chat real fast. That was one thing I wanted to check from you, Coding Wonders. Contributor chat. Was there... I think it was the... Oh, God. The context menu thing. Right. Okay, let's see, where was the fun part? Yes, the Xbox full screen experience. And I think you had a GitHub specifically for someone that already did a script for it, and I need to look at it. Here's a video too from Coding Wonders. Let's see, download. No. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Yeah, so this was Coding Wonders. Just look at it. We need to do it. We need to do it. Fluffy, thanks for the gifted subs, man. Canadian, I always recommend people, you know, if you really want to dive into some of the tweaks, it's always a good idea to look through whatever project, and I think you can, you know, pick what you like and then steal it. That's the thing I love about most open source projects is specifically that. You can find what you like about the open source project and then just take the code and make it your own. So for me, most of my setups is all done through like a PowerShell script. So if it's something basic, like WinUtil is pretty much set up for me to where it's pretty streamlined. But if I was not running WinUtil and I didn't have my own options in there, I probably would just make a straight CLI PowerShell script and then just pipe all my changes through. But yeah, no, this looks really great, man. When it comes to the Xbox full screen experience, I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
And I think, was it this GitHub? Can't remember. Yes. Okay. So I'm looking through here. It might not have even been you that sent me this, Coding Wonders. There was somebody that had a GitHub project that sent it to me, and they already did the script to change everything to the full screen experience. Was it here? No. Maybe it wasn't, y'all. Oh god, the CVE. This was hilarious. Drift user actually found the CVE from like 2 months ago. where you could email like a PDF or a JPEG, and you open it up and you could exploit Windows users. That's wild. Yeah. So there's a graphics component, and you could actually gain and execute code over the network through an exploit in Windows. This is from, yeah, 8/12/2025. So several months back. And he ran into that. He's like, what in the hell? I'm like, that's Windows for you. Yeah, there it is. You got it. Yeah, you just linked it for me. That's what I was seeing. Yeah, earlier, here was the experience tool. One-click GUI tool to safely enable hidden Xbox full-screen gaming experience on Windows 11. So you just say enable and go. Now, I haven't vetted this project at all. It's just getting off the ground. Let me sign in. Why am I not signed in? Yeah, 1 second. There we go. All right, I'm gonna star that. I gotta check this up because this is one thing I kind of wanted to try. Maybe on the next stream. I keep saying this. God, it's been like 5 streams of me saying we're gonna check this out. But let's check out the full screen experience for this. And he kind of goes through some of the shenanigans that you're going to run into when you enable it, because this was actually meant for the Asus handheld crap, whatever it was. But yeah, this would be really interesting to see from an experience standpoint. Fluffy, thanks for the gifted. But yeah. Yeah, the Xbox Ally X. Stupid name. That's why I forgot it. But this right here is essentially enabling it from that. Now, you do have to do some prerequisites to do the changes here, so you might want to read through this before just blindly executing this. Right now, it looks like it's compatible on 24H2, 2.6, 7019. Let's see if mine's compatible. What version? If you need to check your version, just go to Start Run, go WinVer, and I'm 7171. So I have the ability to run this tool, but you can check that to see what compatibility that you need. And if you look at the latest build that he's done, there we go. For users on older builds, experience boot failures. The recommended fix is to upgrade to dev build of 7271. Okay. Good to know. I might do this in a VM. Well, I might install using UUP dump. Balthazar, thank you, sir. So I'd probably go to dev channel x64. This version is 7271. I would grab this build. Let's just go ahead and show people how to do this. I'm only going to need the pro version. We're just going to go download and convert to ISO. We're going to install updates and slipstream this as well. Let's create a download package. And I believe this needs to be run in Windows. So, oh no, UUP works in Linux now. Hell yeah. Doing God's work, man. Let's just show people how this is done then. All right, great. And we're going to need to run UUP download Linux. We're going to need to add that as an executable. We need Araya 2C. Do we have Araya 2C in here? 2P. I think we need actually Araya 2. What do we got? Let's go media downloaders. Front end for this. I think I'm going to try that media downloader. It should grab it as a dependency. I don't know what that file is, but when in Rome. Oh, downloader. Yeah, it should grab all the dependencies, including Araya 2C. Yeah, it works better on Windows from experience. It does more because of DISM. Ah, okay. Yeah, 1 second. It's been a while since I updated March. Let me just clear out my download and re-download this. Yeah, there it goes. Araya 2. And with that, wimlib imagex is not installed. Man, a couple dependencies here we need to grab. Wimlib. Let's grab some wimlib. All right. Jeez. GH and TPW. Yeah, okay. Dang, how many dependencies we got? I should make a script for this. Ooh, Gen ISO image. Ooh, what is that? Maybe MKI ISO FS. My God, Linux is so easy. Why don't you all use it? Let's see. CDW, Incursive CD Writer Program. CDW. Oh, that's AUR. I don't really want to use that. Dang it. All right. Guys, we're just going to use Windows. We're going to be here all day. Let me show this one more time. We're going to just use it on Windows. We're going to go to Dev Channel, x64. Yeah. Oh, Fuse ISO is what I needed. Yeah, probably. All right, you're going to go next. I'm just going to grab Pro version, Slipstreamer updates. Yep. Sounds good. Let's create our download package. Perfect. All right, let's extract all. Yep. Beautiful. Then we'll run our CMD file. Run. All right, let's just run all. Gravy. So this is gonna, like Coding Wonder said, running it through Windows is probably preferred because with DISM it can slipstream all those update packages, and then you have a really more complete ISO at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm already running CMD as admins also needed. This did elevate to administrator though, so we're good. Chris, is there any way to check if Windows changed any of the tweaks I did with WinUtil on last update? For example, I updated from 24H2 to 25H2. It absolutely screwed up all the updates. Anytime you do a feature update, and often a cumulative update, it will completely revert most of the tweaks. Not all, but most. And that's just Microsoft sticking it to you one more time. Now, like security updates and stuff really doesn't mess with it, but feature updates absolutely does. Yeah, Araya 2 is goated. Agreed. We'll grab an ISO and put this on here. I would probably recommend, based on the GitHub of doing this, I would recommend having the 7271 build. Now, if this is your main system and you're like, I'm going to convert my main system to the Xbox full screen experience, you're crazy. Don't do that, because dev build is not ideal. It's extremely temperamental in a lot of ways. So stay on a standard stable release build of Windows if you can. I wouldn't update to 25H2. I would stay on 24H2 or even 23H2 if you have it, and wait. I always like to wait at least a year, probably 2, and that's usually bet. WinOneShot, is it still being updated? So WinOneShot is just like a front end for the tweaks, and it was meant to just one shot, like bam, it'll just run the tweaks that you need to run on a fresh install. All the tweaks it pulls are actually from WinUtil. So WinOneShot, my idea behind it was a one shot, hey, no selection, it would just go ahead and run it. And instead of using PowerShell, it would convert all the PowerShell tweaks to .NET libraries. So it would use .NET to apply the tweaks instead of using PowerShell. I think that worked for pretty much everything but the AppX image stuff. That still needed to use PowerShell. So almost all of it, though, was using .NET, like registry tweaking and all that was using .NET libraries. And I used it as a front end of C#. I think in the next version, though, I'm going to switch it to F# just because that sounds like fun. And I wanted to add some kind of like really fancy GUI to it because everyone always critiques my bare bones designs. And I have a really, really cool idea in that regard. What was wrong with the service cleanup PR? You didn't leave a comment. Oh, Gab, I had, if you look at Meritech's one, he actually tried to clean that up a little bit. Some of those services were still leftovers from Windows 10 era, and we probably will accept that PR. It's just right now, we still have quite a few people using the tweaks on Windows 10, and if I removed all those services, it would still work on Windows 10. It just wouldn't be as good. Like, there's still like home group listener and those types of things. Although, now that I say it, 24H2, I think, was the last Windows 10 version. I think home group listener got removed from the last version of Windows 10. So we might be okay doing it. Maybe. We'll see. Is it true a lot of freewares that Windows users use contain malware? Yes, absolutely. Limited time usage programmers, shareware, a lot of it's malware based. Most of all the software, Dave Plummer, actually, the Microsoft engineer on YouTube, he made a bunch of that shareware crap back in the early 2000s. Really egregious without actually a proper uninstall. So it forced users to constantly click X, and you had to use, like, oh god, back in those days, I actually removed a lot of his crapware back in the early 2000s. And that was the era of, like, oh god, it was like Spyware Doctor and all the other things that were removing a lot of his programs that were uninstallable. But it was constant, man. Oh god, he ended up defaulting to, I think it was the state of Washington. I think it was like $400,000 he had to pay up for damages to various, I think it was a full class action. I couldn't remember exactly the details. I did read the brief though from the suit, and he did lose. But yeah, I actually uninstalled a lot of his shareware crap from back in the day. He still maintains it was not malicious, but I was there. I was there, and it was very malicious. Not like necessarily from a performance perspective, but from an annoyance perspective. Oh my god, for real. Yeah, the task manager guy. I think I still have. I think I pulled it up. I made a file. I was thinking about doing a video, and then I was like, nah, man, I don't want that heat. Let people. I don't want to become one of those channels, the drama farmers. Be like me pulling up pirate software or something. Going, look at this. It's just not worth it. Probably. Where did I put that? I bet you. No. I put it. Why this does it? Why not? Let's just have some fun. It's a live stream, and if you've been here for 3 hours, shoot, we could use some entertainment. Maybe I put it in Final Cut. It was like a draft. Sometimes when I do drafts, no. 2024 projects, maybe? God, I did a lot of projects in 2024, didn't I? Probably would have labeled it something Dave, right? Ah, there it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, here it was. Yeah, so he had like Mim Turbo and a bunch of other stuff. Oh, God, I gotta take off Affinity as my default image editor. What am I doing? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I pulled in all these images from back in the day. I was like, oh, yeah. Let's go open with. Choose another app, please. Let's make photos the default. Thank you. So he would always add this. And if you're like older, you probably remember these because they got infected all over the place. I think I pulled these down from archive.org. And this would pop up like all the time. And oh heck, let's just go through the whole catalog while we wait for this to build. Dave Plummer. I think we pulled in some of the tweaks and other stuff he said. I was going to do a video on it, but I was like, no, it's not worth it. Internet Shield. Oh, God, this thing was awful, too. Summary Judgment. It showed, and this was actually a deleted post from Tim. He actually worked at Microsoft at the time. Enderman did a big video on it, which Enderman's channel, I think, got deleted. Maybe it's back. But here was the actual complaint. I just downloaded directly from the state of Washington. And I think his reparations were, I think it was $400,000 for 180 solutions. What was it? It was no small amount. But it kind of goes through the entire thing. And you can actually download this complaint. It's from 2006, but it's there forever. In the matter of 180 solutions, FTC. I thought there was an actual litigation case. Oh yeah, they pull in all the goodness. Let's see, what was that? 400, I think, is what it was. Let's see if I can find it. AI Assistant. Let's see if my AI Assistant can do it. No. Well. Where was it? I think this was just all of the data. This didn't look like the actual motion of summary judgment that he got against him. This was just all of the different verification. It was a lot of crap, though. It wasn't just Like, it was a lot of different stuff, like from all the ActiveX plugins and different domains. It wasn't just one or two different crapware. Oh, man, brings me back. It's so nostalgic. The whole 95 era. Yeah, I think this was... I was going to actually go through each one of these, but no, this wasn't it. We're still packaging this up. While we're here... Where was that? Oh, no, it wasn't main pool. It was under FCP, wasn't it? Yeah. And it was at 07. Ah, here was the judgment. Software Online. David W. Plummer. Cost and fees for the principal judgment, $40,000. Civil penalties were $400,000 with $250K suspended on condition of compliance with the terms in the decree. Total judgment of $190,000. Post-judgment interest rates, 12%. So if you didn't pay it all right back immediately, you'd have to pay 12%, which I'm pretty sure he had the money, so that was not a problem. But that was the full motion summary judgment. If you want the case number and you want to read about it, have at it. There you go. That's it. Nobody really did anything with this, though. I was kind of anticipated it. It's just I don't do drama. And I've obviously looked up and researched as much as I could on it, and then I was just like, nah. Nah. We're not going to go there. Man, Zone Alarm, that's a name I hadn't seen so long. There's a lot of nostalgia in that old stuff. Pastebin. What we got? Tweaks JSON. What were you looking at, Gab, here? Yeah, man. There is no heroes online, man. You either die the hero or live long enough to be the villain. I've done this long enough to tell you that's just how it goes. You know? I've done online videos for 7 years now. It's just the nature of the beast. To be expected. How old is your arch at this point? Ooh, that's a good question. How old is my arch? We are officially 583 days. Look at that. Look at that uptime. What? This is world record. It still says Omarchy. I don't know where that's at. We're using Omarchy on X11 and DWM. Yeah, there's this thing has gone through the ringer, man. We have uninstalled and installed so many packages. It's insane. Did you know I worked at Microsoft? It's like the pirate software thing all over again. Oh, by the way, I worked at Microsoft. It's classic. I was working on customizing Archie fast fetch a bit more to be OS agnostic. I'll send it to you later. Ah, thanks, Rux. I could use it. I've been messing around with my fast fetch. Yeah, it's been a bit since I've messed around with my fast fetch. Probably at least 100 or 200 days now. Can't seem to get the host module to work. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like, that's the thing about Linux tweaking is like anything can be set up, but a lot of times it just takes some time, takes some doing. So, oh man. Alrighty, guys. I think I am going to shut it down for the day. We have done everything I've done. My brain's jello. It's been more than a month since my last live stream. I will try not to wait so long for the next one. And I think that's good. WinUtil tomorrow? Maybe. Maybe. I think we probably need to address WinUtil. It's been a little bit. Oh, should we do the exit screen? Let's try the exit screen and see if that works. Yeah. Hey. Exit screen. Ah, look at that. It worked. It worked. All right. You're getting this done. Eventually, one of these days, I'm going to get an actual better background here. But, you know, appreciate everybody stopping by today, doing some WinUtil work, looking at some of the latest shenanigans of Microsoft Windows, getting things fixed. There's not too much. Check out the new branch right now. WinDev will launch. If you go irm.christitus.com/WinDev space pipe space IEX will launch the new preview of WinUtil. We'll wait probably a week or so just to see if there's anything else we want to put in there, and also just to see if there's any problems with the latest release. I think in the last one I didn't wait long enough, and that's when the tweaks broke, or not the tweaks, but the toggles on the tweaks page. So that should be fun. Looks a little reddish, yeah. That's me doing the green screen with a single light. So this is actually the back side of the screen, so I can just jump around and stuff. I'm actually sitting in an 80 square foot room. It's all an illusion. I'm really AI. You didn't know. But I'm not real. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. We'll do some Linux stuff probably, just as a palate cleanser. And then Thursday, I think we'll probably jump back over to Windows and do some Xbox full screen experience. Try out the dev branch. Oh, we didn't check that, but I'm sure that ISO worked. UUP dump is amazing. I'll let that finish. We'll have a good finished ISO 7271 build of 24H2 that we'll use for the full screen experience. That's gonna be great. So with that, guys, have a great one. See you in the next one.